Today, I'm gonna put some LEDs on the back end of the bike. Let me show you where I'm gonna put them and how it's all gonna work out. So these are the LEDs right here. Got them all up and down the rear strut. I think it's the rear strut. Anyway, it's the metal piece between the bag and the fender that holds everything in place. And they run up and down on both sides. There is a controller. I mounted it right underneath the top pack. It does control the color of the LED, and it has a mode setting for the different flashing. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook them up so they turn on with the brake lights and flash on their own. So the LEDs are installed. The first thing I gotta do is take my seat off so I can find the wire to hook it up to. All right, now we're gonna remove the bag and the side cover. Here is the back off brake light signal module, and that actually flashes the rear brakes and puts them on for a few seconds and whatnot. What I want to do is hook up those LEDs before this. We're going to test this red wire and see if that's the power wire that stays on. So I'm going to poke a hole in this, and then I'm going to hit the brake light. And that's it. So I'm going to hook the LEDs to the red wire. That's the power going into the back off, or the constant power. And this is the flasher for the brake lights. So I'm going to have constant power here, so it comes on when the brake lights come on. And stays on steady, does what it should do. All right, now that we know that, put this back in. Don't need that out. I'm going to tap right in here into this wire right here. This is the only amount of wire they give you, which is not enough to reach that back there. So I'm going to tap into that with this wire here. I'm going to use one of these taps to get right into there. And this makes quick work of it. So the wire just goes in on one side, and then the other wire goes in on the other side. Push it all the way in. You take your pliers. You're going to squeeze that right through. I can get in here. Oh, got to make sure your wire's in. And you're going to push that all the way in, that metal piece. All right, once you do that, you should have a good connection. You're going to fold this over and close that on there. So you can see that's all set. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check this to make sure it actually works and I got a good connection. So put that together, hit my brakes. So this is a good connection. I need to figure out how much of this wire I'm going to need, and I got to ground this somewhere, somehow. I'm going to run this wire up in here. I'm going to lose my mind up in here. And I'm going to zip tie it right here just to keep it in place with a small zip tie. Okay, that looks good. Now I'll take this wire up to the frame here. All right, right here I have a ground. So we're going to use this for my ground. So we'll put these two grounds together, and we'll just crimp them together. So hook this ground back up. All right, so this is going to be my ground, and this is my power wire. So now I got to figure out how much I need to connect to this. All right, so the pigtail's hooked into the control module for LEDs. Now we're going to separate these two wires. All right, one is power, and one's going to be my ground. The one with the white stripe, I believe, is power. We'll find out, won't we? And I'm just going to temporarily hook this up just to see how they work. Make sure I got the right wires with the right things here. And now let's go check it out. Looks like my LED is flashing. It's not supposed to be flashing. It's probably on the way out. But anyway, and there we go. Now we can change the color of those. It's got green. That's kind of cool. Red. Super bright green. I'm going to leave it on red. Let's check out the different modes they got. All right, this mode just stays on. You got different flashing modes. I think I'm going to leave it on that setting right there. I kind of like that. That is cool. So every time I hit the brake, it should work. Yeah, that looks good, man. Well, we'll see how it works out on the street. Tidy things up. Figure out how far we're going to go with this. Okay. All right, let me just put a tie on this right here. Zip tie this wire over here. Looks good. All right, let's see. We're going to match this up with this here. So we're going to cut this right about there. Okay. Open this up. And take a little bit of heat shrink. Get it over this. I'm going to take these two, put them together. Then I'm going to take the soldering gun. And we're going to solder these, or solder these together. Take the heat shrink right over that and heat it up so we can shrink it up. My lighter doesn't seem to be wanting to work today. There we go. And now we'll take the negative wire and cut that. Put the heat shrink over that. Put these two together. Solder that together. Heat shrink over that. And then just finish wire tying this all together. And that's it. It's installed. Lights are all set. Put the cover back on. Put the seat back in. Put the bag back on. And there you have it. Every time I stop, I got my safety LEDs. What do you guys think? Let me know what you all think about them. I'd appreciate some comments down below. Hopefully they're not too bright for traffic, but then again, I hope it's bright enough where, you know, it lets them know, hey, I'm here and I'm stopping. All right, so that's it. I don't know if those LEDs or that control module for the LED is going to withstand the weather outside. I believe they're not made to be on the exterior of a vehicle. I like them, so I put them on the outside of the bike. Obviously, they're out in the weather, whatnot. The control is underneath the tall pack, and hopefully that'll protect it from rain and whatnot. But it is what it is. If it holds up, great. If it don't, so be it. I'll do something else. But I really like how the LEDs look on the back of that. And I don't know, I think it's going to increase my safety on the road and while I stop and whatnot. All right, that's all I got. You all take care. Share, like, and subscribe if you want, or whatever. And I'll catch you all later. God bless. Bye-bye.